First, I wanted to say a few words on another Olympian-like challenge that faces us all, the impacts of climate change on our planet. Well, the meeting in Copenhagen at the end of last year, where I think I met and spoke to quite a few of you, did not achieve all that we'd hoped for in setting a clear set of rules and some firm targets and a binding agreement. It did, however, underline our collective desire to make change happen and the importance of the issues at hand. It also brought to the forefront the need for private business and every level of government to work together to establish some meaningful ideas and to create some lasting solutions. Well, while we've had a few false starts, just like many of the events here at the Olympics, starting from today, we can now get on the right track. The time for excuses and reasons why we can't must be replaced with how and when. Throughout my 40-year business career, we have developed and we've expanded Virgin by thinking and acting differently from conventional wisdom. That way of operating is what many of you as leaders have already embraced in tackling this issue. It is also what we must challenge others to do. Your mere presence here today is proof of your commitment and a sign to the world that we're working to find solutions and that we will find them. What is obvious is that we must find ways to replace the world's reliance on oil and other carbon-intensive fuels, and yet still foster the continuing growth and development of the world's economy. We don't believe the two are mutually exclusive, and that in fact they are critically linked. Only last week I attended the launch of an independent report that spelled out the challenges we face because of the end of the era of easy oil. If we do nothing, global demand will continue to rise and prices will inevitably rise. And in fact, the report indicated that 5 years from now, the demand for oil, if China and India continue to grow as they're growing, will exceed supply. Global warming is one big issue, but this could be another real major issue for cities and other people to move. Well, is there an answer? And in my opinion, the answer lies in much more investment in renewable energy, much better focus on sustainable fuels, much deeper research in technology to re-engineer the economies of the world. These are tough tasks and ones that require action from all parties. By mobilizing companies, by mobilizing governments and NGOs to work together, we will address these challenges and we will find lasting global solutions. While the private sector and the public sectors are normally seen as separate, and sometimes they act as though we weren't on the same team, we need to shake this up and change it. Almost all of you have already started driving change and development and have appreciated that running a city is just like running a business. You as mayors or representative mayors, the entrepreneurial CEOs of the civic world. The people you represent want this from you, and they are relying on all of us in this room to drive the scale of change we need to effect a real difference. The buildings in which we live, the buildings in which we work, the buildings in which we play, account for 20% of man-made carbons. So that means we need to act now, and taking on this one area promises significant impact. As you know, the technology already exists to help make the necessary retrofits and improvements to buildings becoming a reality. The building sector represents the largest opportunity for cost-effective solutions to climate change in cities around the world, whilst also creating literally, potentially millions of jobs. The problem is that while many cities know what needs to be done, they lack the sufficient capital to do enough, fast enough to make a difference. Well, the Carbon War Room always looks for win-win business solutions to climate change. And here, the Carbon War Room realized the gap in finance and looked for progressive cities, as well as the best institutions already engaged in providing capital for the problem. Here, as with other areas like shipping that we're looking at, the economy and the environment actually go hand in hand. Vancouver was an obvious launch partner because of its pioneering sustainability plan and the drive of its mayor, Gregor Robertson. His initiative, Vancouver Green Capital, has showed what difference can be made at a city level. Importantly, Vancouver has actually walked the talk, or in this city, should I say, cycled the talk, reducing greenhouse gas emissions to 1990 levels, while the population has grown by 27%. And yesterday, I was really pleased to hear that the Olympic Village is LEED Platinum certified, and congratulations on that achievement too. But there are more accomplishments to work toward, and we can all play a role. Today, we are pleased to launch the Green Capital Global Challenge, a new 30-month program to drive much-needed capital into the most pioneering cities. It is a starting point for concerned and passionate civic and business leaders to gain the knowledge and resources they need to reduce carbon emissions in their built environment through improving the energy efficiency of buildings. The Carbon War Room is looking to help take carbon out of our cities and to get money in. It will initially work with 5 to 10 cities who are 100% committed to transforming their city to help getting the deals done and the funding they need. Once those cities have shown the way, we know most other cities will follow. We know how tough it is to find money in the current environment, but we need to show that this sort of investment is ultimately about saving money and ultimately the planet. Your leadership is now needed more than ever, and as an entrepreneur, as well as a political leader. Well, thank you for your time. To my fellow tourists, of which I think there are a few in this room, I hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Vancouver. To the locals, on behalf of us all, thank you for your hospitality. Good luck to you all with the Green Capital Global Challenge, and looking forward to seeing you at the London Olympics in 2012 to celebrate all you've achieved, and hopefully for Great Britain to win a few more medals. And I'm now going to hand over to the Carbon War Room's chairman, Jose Maria Figueres, who will tell you a little bit more. Who better to run a war room than the former president of Costa Rica, who actually abolished the army. Thank you.
Good morning. Well, Richard always ups the ante, of course, with the credentials of coming from a country with no army.